North Road made this.
Right, we are back. It is currently Tuesday the 29th of October. So it's been a good while since I've used this camera. It's collecting dust. But we are on the other end of the Ironman prep, all done. A little bit of a sore throat this morning, feeling a little bit ropey, but we'll soldier on. Got meal one here, which, as you can see, is some pancakes that I made. 3 eggs. Put this back up. 3 eggs, some oats, banana, some yogurt, blueberries, and some dark chocolate. Absolutely fire. That's what I used to have all the time. And as you can see, we're back in a different surrounding. Well, I'm not in Spain. I'm not in Uttoxeter. I'm back in Coventry, but not for long. We're off again in the new year. But we are going to be, obviously now, building some strength back and some muscle back, which is very exciting. So I wanted to document that. This is like the first quote unquote episode of. I'm not going to put a name for it. Rebuilding the rig was one that came to mind, but I just thought I'll just upload. So I'm going to go and train legs after this, and also walk through my new training split because it has changed a lot. 4 gym sessions, 2 cardio sessions at the moment. So really need to sort this throat out, and I'll probably pick the camera back up. But meal one, also got my electrolytes as well, and then we're going to train legs, so bring you along. Here we have 2 of the main movers of my lower body session at the moment with this current setup. The heel elevated goblet squat has been a staple of mine for that lower body. It's a fantastic movement. You can see my heels are elevated, help promoting a bit of knee flexion just so I can bias my quadriceps a little bit more, but core nice and braced throughout, and a fantastic lift for that lower body. We're then going to move on to these trap bar deadlifts. I enjoy the trap bar just because obviously the way the weight is evenly distributed to the side, and it's a fantastic exercise for that posterior chain. A little bit more hamstring focus here. I'm thinking about locking in my hamstrings and then pulling, and then a little reset at the bottom. But 2 fantastic exercises on my leg day. Okay, so I wanted to do a little run through of my training program. Obviously now, post Ironman, the emphasis is strength training, gaining some strength, getting back in the gym, filling out t-shirts. Obviously towards the back end of prep for the Ironman, the gym sessions were twice a week, and it was very much a case of injury prevention, core work, and just training for the Ironman as opposed to maximising strength and performance in the gym. So it's been nice to get back into it. Now I've finished the Ironman, obviously 7th of October. I then had a week of no training, doing literally nothing. The second week was back in the gym, easing my way back into things, and then we're now into week 3 of this training block. So I'm going to run through it in terms of sort of where I am. I'm using the OneFit platform. This is what I use for my online clients, and I'm using it for myself. So you'll see my body weight is sort of 80.7 just after the Ironman, quite depleted, and then the last few weeks it's been holding up around about 81.8, 81.7-ish. So it's holding around. I've just increased food, hence there's a little bit more of a jump on here. But this is more so for the training as opposed to nutrition. So if we look at the plan, so this is where we are. This is what I am currently running with. So 4 gym sessions per week and then 2 runs. Now, the gym session is my main priority, so the runs are obviously more at maintenance, and that second run could also be maybe a bike ride instead. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself because I know that I've got a couple of things I want to do next year. Running's going to be quite high in volume, so as long as I'm maintaining where I'm at, I'm quite happy. My overall aerobic fitness, and obviously riding a bike, I'm still working my aerobic capacity. It's not a case of I'm not doing anything. It just mixes it up, something nice to do, something a little bit different. So, or upper lower run, push pull run number 2. So upper body number 1, the main, like I say to you, is to get strong. We're starting off here, main strength block focusing a little bit more on presses, just because that's where I've noticed I've lost the most amount of strength. So putting a little bit more emphasis onto those. So upper body, number 1, we're starting off with some rope face pulls. We've got 3 sets here, 12 to 15. We want to prime the shoulder, prime the rear delt, as that's our main stabilizer in our pressing movement. So I'm using that as a primer. This is after I've done a little bit of mobility, maybe a little bit of time on the bike just to get the heart rate up. Then going into bench press, got 3 sets of 8. It says, obviously, I'm working with the reps in reserve. So, I mean, not reps in reserve. This should be RPE because I'm not having 7 reps in reserve. But I have slowly brought that up. I'm now into, obviously, week 3. I started off with, I think it was 60 kilos on my first initial week. And we're now up to 77.5. So, getting 8 reps, feeling fairly good. Just learning that movement pattern. And then we've got an incline dumbbell press. It's a very high incline dumbbell press. So it's slightly delt focused, but still sort of upper pec work as well. We're then going into a pull down variation, some lateral raises, and then I do some arms as sort of an option, depending on sort of how I'm feeling, time, that sort of thing. Leg wise, nice simple session I did today. We had leg extensions to begin with, get the knees nice and warm, prime the lower body. We then went to heel elevated goblet squats. Here we're doing 3 sets, 8 repetitions. So nothing like stupidly heavy because I want to get myself working up. There will come to a point where I will get rid of the goblet squat and maybe go for some form of a front squat or a barbell back squat, because the limiting factor will be my ability to hold on to the dumbbell in terms of the weight. So we'll see, but really enjoyed heel elevated goblet squat. Fantastic for that lower body, biasing the quads a little bit more with that knee flexion. I got some trap bar deadlifts. It's a little bit more like an RDL. I think about hinging at the hips, trying to keep the hamstrings on literally throughout the whole repetition. Really enjoyed these. Obviously, with the trap bar, the weight's a little bit evenly distributed, a little bit easier as opposed to the bar being in front. So really good exercise, fantastic. And I'm able to do the goblet squat and the trap bar deadlift in the same place. Yes, I do the goblet squats on a squat rack, which probably gets me a few evil eyes. And some calf raises and some line leg curls to finish, just to accumulate a little bit more volume, and also, calves being a main running muscle group, so I want to make sure they're nice and strong throughout their full range. We'll come back to this run. In fact, run number 1 is normally on a Wednesday. It's 5k at the moment. It's nice and steady. I'm still not quite 100% from the Ironman. Like you probably can hear, a little bit bunged up still. Recovery's not been great. Sleep's not been fantastic, which I'm trying to sort out. Nothing that I'm not doing on my own. It's just waking up a lot of times through the night, as I've got the bladder of a 70-year-old. So that's run number 1. It's like a 5k. I'm going to build this up to like intervals, tempo, threshold, because I do want to work on some speed. And obviously, I've just bought some speed shoes as well, so be rude not to. We then go into push on the back of after that Wednesday rest day of such. Like a 5k run's not that taxing for me, so I'm able to do that okay. Got some face pulls to begin with, again priming the rear delts. Standing overhead barbell shoulder press. So this is 3 sets, 8 repetitions, core tight, breathing out as you press. Again, this will probably come down to 6 repetitions, I think, just because I will find it hard to micro load 8 reps, as I do want to go, fairly decent. I'm keeping these very strict, no sort of push pressing, no momentum through the lower body. I'm just trying to keep it as strict as possible. One issue I have noticed is when I do press in the squat rack, I'll keep clipping the top thanks to these long arms, but we'll see. We can play around with that. We then got a neutral grip dumbbell bench press. This is just to protect the shoulders a little bit more tricep emphasis. So in a neutral position as opposed to sort of your standard flat dumbbell press. We then got a superset of chest flies and dumbbell lateral raises, a little bit more intensity, a little bit more of that bodybuilding pump-esque work. And then we got some push downs to finish. And then pull, we've got Pendlay row, fantastic movement. This is something I've just recently introduced. So it's like a barbell row, but instead you're parallel with the floor with your chest, and you reset at the bottom every rep. Really nice movement. Would definitely recommend warming up before these, especially getting your hamstrings nice and warm, because obviously you're in that position a little bit longer. So that was one thing I noticed was restricting me. But again, over time, these have felt really good. Sets of 6 with those. We then got some pull-ups. So I'm actually doing this in a neutral grip, so a chin up, 8 repetitions. I've got a weight lifting belt, so I can apply some load to that to make that a little bit trickier. But obviously, as I get heavier, it will naturally become a bit trickier as well. We've got a chest supported dumbbell row, 10 to 12 reps on there. This is a plate loading machine that I use on this pull down, as opposed to the like a normal pulley system on the upper body. Again, just getting some more volume through the lats and upper back.
and then some biceps to finish. Cable curls, arm work. I'll see how I feel. You know, I might do that. That might be a dumbbell bicep curl, might be barbell. I don't really go barbell bicep curl, to be fair, but I'd fluctuate that. I'm not really too worried. My main lifts I'm focusing on is the bench press, incline dumbbell press, goblet squats, trap bar deadlift, standing barbell shoulder press, and the flat press, Penlay row, and obviously just getting strong on my chin ups. They're my main lifts. Everything else, like, I have a little bit of leeway. I'm not going to worry if a machine's being used. I'll just use another variation. Obviously, the experience of my training, I'm able to know sort of which is best for which. And then run number 2 on a long run. It says 7k, but it's not really been. It's normally been about 10. First run on this long run, I did 10k. The last time I did this run on Saturday, just gone, was 11.5k. So just go with the flow. And this is what I mean. Like, I'm not putting any pressure on it. Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow I'm doing a long run. I'm just swapping those two around, and I'm doing about 15k. So I'm not putting any pressure on myself. It's nice not to have that pressure in terms of following a plan to a T. So this is what the rest of the year is going to look like. Get strong, accrue as much lean tissue as possible. Do not completely neglect my cardio training, as next year I will be doing a couple of endurance events. I want to do an Olympic distance triathlons I've spoken about. I'm going to do a 110 kilometre run up in Scotland over 2 days. So I'm going to need plenty of running volume for that. And yeah, maybe a high rocks towards the end of the year, but I've not really thought that far ahead. So that's where we are. It's going to run me till about Christmas, sort of New Year, probably Christmas. Run a deload. January, I'm moving back out to Spain, so we'll see where I am, and then we'll start properly training for the 110 Ultra February time, which gives me about 4 months. So that's where we are with the training. Hopefully that explains everything.
Right, it's currently Wednesday, so it's the next day, and I'm on the iPhone because my camera has died. I don't know where the charger is, so I've had to order a new one. I'm going to be borrowing the charger for the camera today, so it should be all right. But Wednesday, we've got my run today, which I spoke about going through the program. But today's going to be slightly longer. It's going to be in the evening with some friends, so pretty standard, pretty chilled, nothing too extreme. I did run yesterday, a little spontaneous one. Just fancy getting out, 4k, 17 minutes, so a bit quicker than usual, but I'm also playing tennis in about 2 hours, so a busy Wednesday from an active standpoint. Got a few bits today from Nike store, so got a run on Sunday, trail run, so I need to get some running trains for those, so I'll show you them in a minute. But yeah, feeling good, still a little bit, not 100%, bit of a sore throat. Not feeling fantastic, but keep busy, keep active, and see how we get on.
Oh, get on your camera.
On film as well. Right, it's the next day, it's Thursday. Obviously, as you can see, we did some tennis yesterday. Easy win, 6-1, 6-0. And then a 12k run in the evening. Just get the legs moving, but we're feeling good. My watch is telling me the opposite, as my training readiness is a 1 out of 100, and it's saying that I'm overtraining, which is not ideal because I'm going to the gym in the next hour or so. But I'm going to wrap the video up there. Obviously, a little bit more in terms of what I'll be doing, what I am doing post Ironman, and the plans for the next few months with my training, etc. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.